What's up guys, Shane here from House of Cards TCG. We have a great new video for you going over all the most controversial rulings from this format. We want to make sure that you are the best duelist you can be, most prepared, and make sure that you don't get cheated. Because it's really easy to miss some of these rulings. There's a lot of really complex interactions this format, and the cards are new, which makes it even more difficult, especially on the fly, during the pressure of a tournament. So make sure you watch the whole video and let us know down below what you think. If you disagree with anything, hopefully not. But yeah, looking forward to hearing your feedback.
Alright, so for the first ruling, let's say that you've summoned 5 times and your opponent goes ahead and activates Nib. So when Nib is activated, you can go ahead and chain Book of Eclipse. And what that'll do is it will set your monsters, and Nib actually says that it can only tribute face-up monsters, so your monsters will not be tributed and in turn stay on the field. For the second ruling, let's say that your opponent has a Kashtira monster out and they go ahead and activate Theosis. When Theosis activates, it targets that Kashtira monster and special summons a different monster with a different attribute. What you can do is you can go ahead and book that monster and Theosis will not resolve. For ruling number 3, let's say that your opponent goes ahead and Book of Eclipse your monster, which in turn sets them. And then afterwards, you go ahead and activate Pot of Prosperity and you add a card from your deck to your hand. At end phase, your monsters will flip, however, you will not draw a card. Alright, so this ruling is going to involve if you talents or mind control or change of heart and take your opponent's Fenrir. So opponent's going to go ahead and special summon Unicorn and use the effect. We're going to go ahead and let's just say he searched. We're going to use our Fenrir effect and we're going to go ahead and banish that Unicorn. So when we banish their Unicorn, now that they're going to go ahead and talents and they're going to take our Fenrir from us. So when they do that, now, when they activate an effect and we chain our Unicorn to rip from the extra deck, they will actually have an opportunity to use Fenrir again, because Fenrir states that you, as a player, can only use this effect once per turn. Meaning if they take our Fenrir, and we've already used the effect to banish, they will be allowed to use that same effect and banish because they have not used that effect yet. So for this example, let's just say that my opponent has locked out all of my main monster zones with the Shangri-La, and I have cards like Mind Control, Change of Heart, and Talents. Now originally, people thought that you could actually take the opponent's monster, like the Shangri-La, and then it would just fall off, and it would go to the graveyard because there's actually no main monster zone for it to go to. That is an illegal activation. You actually cannot use Change of Heart, Mind Control, or Talents to take in this instance because you have no main monster zones for them to go to. So this isn't necessarily a ruling as much as it is a tip for you to be a better duelist. This happened to me at the regional, and so I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention so that you could be aware of this. So when this instance, you have a Plunder monster that is being equipped by Blackbeard, and Faithful is up on the field. If you go to battle into that, Faithful states that once per turn, the first time a monster you control equipped with an equipped spell will be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. This applies for the Plunder monsters. They are being equipped by another Plunder monster. This applies, so you actually have to battle into it twice to get rid of the monster. So in this ruling, we're going to talk about Super Ancient Organism, as this card has grown in popularity due to the most recent YCS. So when you activate Kashtira Birth and your opponent goes ahead and flips over the Grave of Super Ancient Organism, it says level 6 or higher special summon monsters in the field cannot declare attacks, nor can player activate their effects. So just a little tip on this one. Cards like Fenrir, when you have Kashtira Birth, you can normal summon without tributing. So cards like Kashtira Fenrir, or even cards like the Astrograph Sorcerer, you can normal summon without tributing, then you can still attack and use their effects even though they're level 7, because this card only restricts special summon monsters.
So for this ruling, you cannot use Meteonis Drytron to summon out Ohaimi because it has 0 attack, and that would be 0 monsters, and you cannot do that. So you absolutely cannot use Meteonis Drytron to summon Ohaimi. So next we have Dragoon Face Up, which reads, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects, but my opponent has Skill Drain up. So under Skill Drain, if my opponent activates something like Compulse or something to target it, you can target Dragoon under Skill Drain. This is a really good one to know with Dragoon gaining in popularity under decks like Despia. So a really good one to know. Okay, for this ruling, we're going to activate our Mirror Jade by paying the cost, so sending to the graveyard. We'll just go ahead and do Titaniclad, and then we'll chain Rinbroom to negate it. So with the Rinvroom negating the Mirror Jade, it's still going to be live next turn because the effect didn't resolve. So you'll be able to use it next turn as well to banish a card. Okay, so I have Ice Jade, the new card out of Photon Hypernova. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I'm going to butcher it. But this effect is a quick effect. You can activate this effect. Face-up monsters you control cannot be destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effects this turn. So I'm in battle phase. I ended battle phase. My opponent's going to activate Evenly Matched. I'm going to chain the Ice Jade. Let's say we have more monsters on field, more cards on field, because obviously you wouldn't care with this current board. But this Ice Jade is not going to prevent my opponent's Evenly Matched from resolving, because Evenly Matched forces the player to banish the cards face down they control, not by card effects. So Ice Jade isn't able to interact with that.
So for this ruling, with Dogmatica Ritual Deck coming in popularity and other things, so these are two different cards, even though they act as the same, as in they send from the extra deck to the graveyard. So one thing you need to know, under a Rise Heart, you actually cannot activate Ultimate Slayer because it says that it sends one monster from the extra deck to the graveyard as cost. So you actually, because you can't pay the cost, you cannot activate Ultimate Slayer. However, you can in fact activate Nadir Servant, and what's going to happen is you're going to send a monster from the extra deck, but it's going to get banished, and nothing will happen with the Nadir Servant, but you will waste that card out of your hand, and you will resolve the effect, which is sending a monster from the extra deck, but it will get banished, and since it didn't go to the graveyard and it got banished instead, the card will resolve, and you will not search any Dogmatica monster. Well, we appreciate you watching. Hopefully that this video has helped you become a better duelist, and all these tips and rulings are all things that we've researched and we've found out. So if you have any questions, any comments, let us know down below and we'll answer them as best we can. If you have a question as to why something works a certain way, let us know. We'll try to comment and give you a further explanation. But again, we hope to produce more of these videos for you to help you become a better duelist and help us as well. So it's been Tyler with House of Cards TCG, signing out.